I think while I lie awake and contemplate tonight are wearing me out. Well, maybe tomorrow the world will wake and get it right, but I have my doubts, yeah. So during the day, well, I design machines of war that scream through the sky. 'Cause I, for one, I like to go to bed free at night under these stars and stripes. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we're making back out. Yes, I have my doubts. But they'll wind you up and pull the cord until you're spun right out. And I don't understand. So roll the dice and raise the price to feed the machine's mouth. Call it the progress of man. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we'll make it back out. And I have my doubts. So I'll drink my stuff and raise some hell and shoot my guns to the end of my time. You can have the booze and go to hell and take the guns, but I know they won't be mine. And I have my doubts that we're coming out. Yes, I have my doubts. And I have my doubts that we're making back up. I have my doubts. So we're all messed up and out of touch. Let's text someone who's in the other room. So don't wonder why we don't say hi or know anyone. I might as well move to the moon. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. So maybe I'm wrong. Well, I hope that I'm wrong. Well, the things I think while I lie awake and contemplate at night.
Good evening. It sure has been an eventful weekend. That is for sure. Wow. Some of the stuff is kind of getting off the chain. Man, in all directions. Liars are starting to really come to the surface. And, you know, I always think it's funny, and in fact, I will purposely do this to people. I always think it's funny when you give somebody zero input. Zero. Completely nothing. Zero input. And then I enjoy watching them just make shit up. It's actually kind of funny. And society as a whole has largely started doing that. And, a lot of times you'll see it when somebody asks a question. Somebody will pop up and they don't know the answer, but they want to appear to know the answer. And so you get a lot of people out there that just make shit up. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is because of all of this talk about the Kraken and, all of this talk about how Trump was going to pull ahead and he was going to pull this off. Well, as you know, I'm sure the Supreme Court turned him away. I don't get it. Why lie? Why lie? Why lie for yourself? Why carry other people's lies? Why lie for people that could care less about you? I don't get it. I don't get it. Of course, my priority is keeping in good with the Father, but I see something far beyond that when it comes to being a liar. It's disgusting. It's like the scummiest thing you could do. Scummiest person you could be is a liar. And unfortunately, there is so much of it in our society. It's actually become the norm. It's become a normalcy bias to be a liar. And it's sad, and it's actually sickening. But even more damaging and most damaging is it's misleading. It's misleading. And for those that do care about what the Father thinks, I'll remind you, this doesn't have to be something that you make up. All you have to do is carry somebody else's tail. That's all you have to do. And you're just as guilty as them, the person that made it up. Just as guilty, because you carried the tail. If you don't know about something, it's best not to speak on it. Just the way it is. Hey, it's just as simple to ask a question as what it is to make a statement. Let me say that again. It's just as simple to ask a question as what it is to make a statement. If more people would ask questions instead of making statements, they might actually educate themselves. But that takes work. That takes effort. It's not really what people want. They just want to be right. Unfortunately, we wind up in a situation like we are in today, where you had millions of people that wanted to be right. And they might, they might not have been the ones that made stuff up, but they happily carried it on. They happily carried it on. And now, all of those people are starting to kind of look like asses. It is what it is. Don't lie. Don't lie, and you won't look like an ass. It's pretty simple. Pretty simple logic. And I'm not saying that we know the outcome of this. I'm not saying that the outcome is said and done, because it's not. But I will tell you, there was a lot of false information going around, just as I said. Because this stuff is so prominent now. This is the normal now. People will take the slightest little bitty thing, and I don't want to pick on anybody in particular, but I want to point something out. In fact, I'm not going to call him out. I'm just going to say what he picked out. There's a YouTuber that has been talking a lot about the vaccines and stuff. And one of his big concerns that he picks out is that it comes in a kit. The vaccine comes in a kit, and included in that kit is a syringe. And that flips him out. It's a kit. Hello? I know that most medications and stuff like that are not shipped like that in a kit with the syringe. I get that. However, I think that the idea here was that everything was included in the kit, syringe and all. I think that was the intent. I think that's all it is. I don't think there's any, I'm not saying I don't think there's anything nefarious about the vaccine, because I do. But I don't necessarily think there's anything nefarious about the idea that it's got a syringe in the kit. I don't think that's the animal that we need to be concerned with. I think we need to be concerned with the fact that it's an mRNA. Sorry, I'll get it out. An mRNA. I think that is what we need to be concerned about, first and foremost. Including the fact that this is the first time that it's been used en masse on a human population. That's concerning to me. However, I'm not going to stick on this because this is, no pun intended, because this is a personal decision for all of us, right? So I'm not going to sit there, if you're somebody that decides that you want this vaccine, I'm not going to sit there and belittle you for it. I'm not going to sit there and try to talk you out of it. It is what it is. It is what it is. I have that respect that I don't have to try to control you. I don't have to try to tell you whether to wear a mask or not to wear a mask or whatever. I don't have those types of control issues that are so prominent in society now. I don't care, right? As long as you aren't endangering or affecting me and my loved ones, I don't care. It's that simple. It's called liberty. It's called liberty. So, it's crazy just how far so many have been misled down this whole election road thing. And I'm telling you, it's a distraction. I know it might not seem that way. You might be thinking, geez, man, it's the election. How are they using something that big as a distraction? Because I'm telling you, what's coming is a hell of a lot bigger than a U.S. election, because what's coming is going to be the end of the U.S. Election ain't gonna matter. And we likely ain't gonna see another one. Man, this goes a lot deeper than a frickin' election. You got nations, most all nations around the globe, that is caught up in this. This is not about a nation and its election. To think so would be incredibly vain, to be honest. Because it's so much bigger than just the United States. So my hope is that people will dial back the making shit up a little bit. Dial back the just obsessive desire to lie. That's what I see. I'm sorry. When you live your life in such a manner in which you will not tell a lie, not for yourself or for anybody else, you will see it. You will see it. And it is stunning. Stunning. Because, I'm sorry, it includes everything. Even sharing that quick little post on Facebook. If it's untrue, you lied. That simple. That simple. Not a lot of people like to hear that. I don't care. I'm here to tell you the truth. Same as always. So anyway, I'm going to dive... I do got one update, a website update to tell you about. And I'm just going to dive into normal stuff. There's a complete ton of headlines today. So I did add something to the website. I'm going to try to get it to load, but I've already got it loaded up just in case, because the website's been a little iffy today. So under the resources tab, you now have the option for Scripture's audio Bible, and I am going to redo the structure, the tree, so to speak. But you'll see it when it gets there. And yes, Google Ads. And I don't know if it's going to pop up or not. Let me just bring up the one that's popped up. Here we go. So anyway, this is the one that I already had brought up. It's the Scriptures Bible audio, all of it, from like A to Z, literally. The Scriptures audio Bible. The Torah, it's got all of the Torah here, and then you'll see it goes to, we're still on the Torah, and then it goes to the prophets, of course, starting with Joshua and going on, and it's got all of it, Samuel, every single one. You can listen, you can download, and as soon as I'm done with this, I just got this on there tonight, so I've got to actually set up the tree a lot better, the structure, file tree. Anyway, I'm going to break it up so it's not all on one page. So, but anyway, the thing is there will also be a link to where you can download a zip file. It's like 3 point something gigs, I think, 3.7 gigs or something. It's not tiny, but you'll be able to download a zip file that's got the entire Scriptures audio Bible in it. It's got everything all organized in it and everything. So anyway, that was brought to my attention from Bear Independence Pro Group. They shared a link that had the audio Bible, so I went and I downloaded the entire thing, and of course put a copy on my phone, put a copy up on the website, and like I say, I'll get this straightened out. But that's kind of a new little thing I added. I thought it was kind of cool, so I added it. Hang on, trying to get the site to come back up. Like I said, it's been hokey. So anyway, well, oops, didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that either. Let's try that. Okay. Well, while that's thinking about possibly loading, let me go ahead and go with the normal stuff. Amazon affiliate, we're up to 2165, so I thank those that participate in that. I do think that everything is shipped, because I think there was a 6 when we started the month. So I thank those that participated in that. Thank you very much. For those that don't know, we're an Amazon affiliate. There's a link in the description of the videos, as well as at thewatchmannews.com. Right there. See, I can still show you that because it's on this page. Anyway, the link's right there. That just takes you to our Amazon, or that just takes you to Amazon, with our special link. And when you make purchases, those items don't cost you anything more, but it throws a little bit our way, like a commission for the sales. So we highly, highly appreciate it. All those little commissions add up at the end of the month. And you see, it's doesn't make us millionaires, but it gets us a little bit of stuff. So the Watchman News website, the domain is actually due in 7 days. So, that's what it's part of what it's going to cover this month, as well as probably use what's left to go ahead and get the that Bible timeline. So I've got that, so I can put that, I've got it to put on the wall in the new house. So, but anyway, thank you for those that participate in that. We also have a Teespring store. I can't show you that because my page won't load, because they hate me. Anyway, it is what it is. There's a Teespring store. Go to the home page. There's 4 designs there. If you see something you're interested in, click on the design. It'll take you to Teespring, where you can get a coffee mug, a tote bag, a t-shirt, all kinds of stuff with that design. Lastly, we have a PayPal donate link. That's in the description of the videos, as well as right here at thewatchmannews.com. This one will work. You click that link, it just takes you to our PayPal donate page. You don't have to have a PayPal account. You can do so as a guest with a debit or a credit card, but I always let people know it says Transforming Disabilities up top, but it also says Purpose, the Watchman News donation. That way you know you're in the right place. Fun. Done. Let me try reloading. It's just, it does this once in a while. And it's because, I'm not paying $100 a month for web hosting. So you run into this once in a while. Normally, it's not too bad. This evening, it's been a pain in the butt. And that's why I don't have that tree structured for the audio Bible, because I fought it, and I just couldn't get it. The other thing, reminds me, the other accomplishment or semi-accomplishment that I have made, flight sim. I have almost successfully made my first scenery package for flight sim. I actually had to quit working on it to do the show, but I'm getting used to working with these new SDK tools, and it's nothing like what I'm used to, and I'm screwing up a lot, but I'm slowly fixing my screw ups one at a time, and I'm gonna get it. I'm determined. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna nail this, and it's gonna be awesome. And I just I tried doing our whole town, the entire lake, and another little town that's on the other side of the lake. It's a real tiny town, and I mean, like, we're talking in the hundreds of population, if that much. But anyway, I tried to do all that area. Well, that's a big damned area, and it didn't turn out. So I'm going to try it again, and we're going to see what happens. But anyway, anywho, let me try reloading that again. Yeah, it's been a pain. It's been a real big pain. Oh well, moving on. So, here's some numbers I've saw jumping all the hell over the place. Man, I don't even remotely know what to think at this point with these numbers. Man, I saw it, I believe it was yesterday, up over 4,000. I saw it. And today, I think 2,600 was the highest I saw it. Something's not making sense here. New cases for yesterday, they're showing 210,479. Fatal cases for yesterday, they're showing 2,326. And I know damn well I saw that number over 4,000 at one point. I know for a fact I did. I don't know. Our zip code, we're at 1,287 total confirmed. I believe we're up, what was it, 16? Yeah, we're up 16 from yesterday. So, what I'm getting at is, even though the numbers are jumping around and stuff, I am seeing zero indication of a Thanksgiving holiday apocalyptic spike. I'm not seeing it. Unless they're lying on the numbers, I am not seeing it. I'm not. It's not there. Doesn't exist. So what the hell? What's going on? Why? Yeah, I'm adamant, ain't I? Why? Why did it not explode? Why didn't the numbers not go crazy? Now I've got a lot of questions. Because this stuff just is not making any sense. And my page just ain't loading. Okay, well, give me about 30 seconds. Well, give me about 60 seconds. And I'll start the headlines. I have to take this break, or else things are going to get messy. Alrighty, sorry about that. Had 2 big old cups of coffee before the show, and they were both demanding out immediately. So I had to listen. When Potter speaks, people listen. Let's see. I still can't get the page to load. Oh well. Load. Just at least act like you load or something. Alright, let me have a sip of tea. Vape. Oh man. I'm telling you. And of course, there was some craziness at a couple of rallies. Marches, whatever you want to call them. I know a guy was stabbed at one. Was a guy shot at another one or something? I don't know. Hey, probably not a good idea to go to those places. I mean, I know it's cool to be Billy Badass and all, but yeah. No, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time before one of these rallies, marches, whatever, lights up. And I mean completely lights up. It's just a matter of time. I mean, if you're an ambulance chaser or something, whatever, but it's not a bright idea. It's not, because it's like playing Russian roulette, and you know what? You've already played a few rounds of it. You know, you're only going to get lucky so many times, and things are escalating each time, each and every time. Things are escalating, and let me tell you what. I see major security holes and everything. I sit there and watch the Proud Boys security, and them cats, yeah, they're a joke. I'll just say it. I sit there and watch their security. I watch video of it. Not even security. I might as well just be pom-pom girls. And I'm not saying that for whatever. I'm saying it to be real. Their security sucked. Their security was a big hole. Man. And wasn't just their security. That's not the only security I'm talking about. The overall security of the whole entire situation was crap. You know, how hard is it to get a vehicle in somewhere to plow through a crowd? Not very, and we're seeing it happen. Man, I'm telling you, all it is going to take is a really highly motivated individual. That's all it's going to take. A really highly motivated individual that showed up with intent. Because I think a lot of the skirmishes that happened, I don't think those people showed up with intent. I think that just happened. Now, I'm not saying that they necessarily showed up with good intent, but what I'm saying is they didn't show up to knife somebody. They didn't show up to shoot somebody. But events led to that happening while they were there. I don't think they went there with that in mind. Just wait. Soon enough, somebody will. And there's a far cry difference in between a pre-planned operation and an off-the-cuff operation. Especially if somebody knows what they're doing. Keep that in mind when it sounds so great. They're under these rallies or marches or protests or whatever you want to call them. Things are escalating. Do some headlines. Another sip here. The U.S. executes death row inmate Brandon Bernard in ninth federal execution in 2020. By the way, Friday's news. A U.S. envoy weighs in on South Korea versus China online feud over which country is original home of kimchi and hints at Seoul as the winner. File that, and I don't give a damn section. Let's see. Unexpected side effect. Australia scraps COVID-19 vaccine development after trials lead to false positives for HIV. Yikes. Minister says UK to survive and thrive even without a post-Brexit trade deal, but insists an agreement is 90% complete. Again, Friday. Man, I feel for them folks over there in the UK. China opens world first suspension bridge combining high-speed rail and road. EU sets ambitious new climate goal to cut emissions by 55% by 2030. I so want to make an Oprah Winfrey joke, but I won't. UK's AstraZeneca to team up with creators of Russia's Sputnik 5 on COVID-19 vaccine trials cites potential wider protection. Important force for defense, Taiwan launches home-built offshore patrol ship amid tensions with Beijing. Still on Friday. Going to be on Friday for a little while. War profiteers, Danish pension funds accused of financing war in Yemen. China's combative wolf warrior diplomats are like Simba from The Lion King after he grew up, says Foreign Minister spokesperson. Hungary plans to annul EU summit rule of law declaration in court. Beijing lambastes U.S. record on human rights and labels Washington's interference in China as hypocrisy. Sanofi, I'm not sure if that's how that's pronounced or not, and GSK announced COVID vaccine delayed until end of 2021. Here's what I was talking about. Car plows through pedestrians in London, seriously injuring multiple people. I mean, I'm saying if somebody with intent went somewhere and planned how to do it in the whole 9 yards, man, it would be devastating. U.S. agrees to return 12 military sites to South Korea, but cleanup cost issue remains unresolved. China did, and by the way, yeah, here's more proof about how South Korea really isn't really welcoming to us anymore. They're not. They want us out of there. China detains local employee of Bloomberg News Bureau in Beijing and starts national security probe. Treatment without the trip. Scientists create hallucinogen-free psychedelic that could fight depression and PTSD. Thought that was interesting. Irish publican arrested after creating a COVID-free pub with mandatory on-site testing. We told you about that when he started it. Russia records over 50,000 excess deaths in October as government coronavirus headquarters says just 7,344 people died of COVID-19. Russia considers grain export quota to stabilize domestic food prices. By the way, these are probably just Chernobyl numbers. Beijing lashes out at U.S. for abusing national security, claims as FCC upholds Huawei blacklisting. Still on Friday. And again, we'll be there for a little while. I'm having a sip and a vape. 'Cause I can, man. Oops. But I can't hit the mic. Oh, man. Telling you. All right. 6 injured after Russian security officers reportedly targeted by suicide bomber outside FSB building in North Caucasus? 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 No, I can't. Is that Caucasus? Caucasus? Yeah, it's Caucasus. Caucasus. Yeah, you gotta work on it. Caucasus. Yeah. Well, maybe I'm the wrong species, but not an ordinary country. Erdogan says U.S. sanctions over S-400s disrespectful to crucial NATO ally. Let's see. Hong Kong activist found guilty of desecrating Chinese flag after becoming first person arrested under the new security law. Sucks for him. Trump calls FDA a big old slow turtle and instructs chief to get the damn vaccine out now. Yeah. Bigly. Iran slams Erdogan after Turkish leader recites poem claiming Iranian provinces are part of Republic of Azerbaijan. EU calls for responsible cooperation with Turkey over migration as bloc seeks to build relations with Ankara. UK's confirmed COVID-19 patients, their contacts, and returning travelers get isolation period shortened to 10 days. Global mass extinctions follow regular 27 million year cycle and may be linked to Earth's journey through the Milky Way. Bet you didn't know we went right through that candy bar, did you? Russian army and Kremlin say foreign states and pharma giants waging information war to discredit Sputnik V COVID-19 vaccine. And by the way, yeah, because it's a cycle, right? And I'm not quite sure about going through the Milky Way, but we're coming up on a cycle that's caused mass extinctions. Just saying. EU to discuss arms sales to Turkey with NATO and new U.S. administration, Germany's Merkel says. COVID-19 vaccine advice is for national regulators to judge, WHO says, after UK cautions allergy sufferers to avoid the jab. Butchered that one all up. A no-deal Brexit is very, very likely, UK's Johnson says, as he still waits for big offer, a big change from EU. Man, my letters today suck. Still on Friday, by the way. Ukraine announces emergency lockdown after New Year as Kiev struggles to find cash for orders of COVID-19 vaccine. Father and mother no more. Sweden considers introduction of gender-neutral terms for parents to suit rainbow families. When does it end? Oh, soon. EU risks losing access to Norwegian waters by New Year, says minister as Brexit fishing debacle escalates. Austrian lawmaker tests cola for COVID and claims positive result returned, shows testing is worthless. Cola as in Coca-Cola? Or, wondering. Russia says U.S. violating international law by, I'm pretty sure if you use the other type of cola, anything will turn positive. Russia says U.S. violating international law by backing Morocco's claims to Western Sahara and deal normalizing ties with Israel. Trump furiously tweets that AG Barr could have known of Biden corruption before the election following the explosive report. U.S. COVID vaccines could start on December 14th, Health and Human Services Secretary says. That's tomorrow. And we're still on Friday's news. This chick, I never can say her name. Let's see. Latest Takana. I was closer that time. Attempt to discredit Lukashenko as Belarusian people's embassies open in 14 Western countries. Sorry for spreading the COVID. London councillor accidentally sets his notebook on fire during digital committee briefing. French minister says decision not to reopen theaters and museums is a true heartbreak and pledges more funding. A Brexit deadline may be delayed further and negotiations should continue for as long as needed, says the German foreign minister. Activists plead with Biden to abolish the death penalty after federal execution of Brandon Bernard. St. Petersburg cops investigating. There's a lot of stuff that happens in St. Petersburg. People here in the U.S. talk about Vegas. Man, I don't know. I think St. Petersburg gives it a rush. I can't even think of what I was thinking of. A race. Sorry. I think it gives it a race. However, nobody's going to beat Florida Man. St. Petersburg cops investigating after transgender prostitutes beat up a transphobic man who refused to pay for services rendered. Still doesn't beat Florida Man. I mean, come on. Britain and EU may still strike Brexit trade deal that both can live with, says the Irish foreign minister. Western media claims Russian missile tests mean Moscow preparing for nuclear war as U.S. fires tomahawks from a warship. What else are you going to fire it from? Your finger? Stockholm schools send pupils home amid warnings of overstretched intensive care wards due to COVID-19. I wished I had that power to launch tomahawks from my fingers. That would be a pretty cool superpower. Of course, nothing would be left after a few days, but it'd be fun. Let's see. Stalin and Save the USA trend on Twitter.
I need to be able to shoot warriors.
Has America's political warfare taken a turn for the absurd? I don't know. The show has. I know that much. Let's see. South African Chief Justice defends public prayer linking COVID vaccine to the devil and corruption of DNA. I mean, this is just really going downhill quick. Joe Biden and leading Democrats accused of purposely omitting Jews from the Hanukkah messages. You know better than that. Abortion activists spark outrage by topping Christmas tree with forceps. I would have chosen a hanger. Migrant smugglers exploiting COVID-19. I'll be okay. That's a matter of perspective, of course, but let's see. We'll try that again. Migrant smugglers exploiting COVID-19 pandemic, Interpol warns. Too far, Michigan's Whitmer urges leniency to state lawmaker who threatened Trump supporters and got stripped of committee seats. Pentagon searching for vetted official Twitter partner to help it influence platform's users. There's a lot of people that are searching for a vetted official partner. Cuomo reimposes ban on New York City indoor dining despite restaurants pleading it will destroy them. White House presses Han to approve vaccine by the end of the day. Let's see. New California and new Nevada sign on to Texas election fraud lawsuit, but what exactly are they? Iran's corpse bride, Angelina Jolie lookalike, sentenced to 10 years in prison for corrupting the youth, says a journalist. Yeah, they don't take highly to that kind of stuff over there. Let's see. Conflict of interest. WHO conspired with the Italian government to remove life-saving report into COVID-19 first response, says a media claim. A serious escalation. Pompeo claims Iran would be closer to nuclear weapons with new uranium enrichment bill. Still on Saturday's news, by the way, or Friday's news, by the way. Zodiac killer's cryptic letter finally deciphered after more than 50 years. The Republic is dead. Scott Adams censored by YouTube for violating election fraud policy. Multiple people injured after vehicle plows into Black Lives Matter crowd in New York, says police. Again, this is Friday. U.S. Supreme Court denies Texas election lawsuit for lack of standing. Merkel's surrender and worst of all possible worlds. Soros pens angry op-ed over Polish-Hungarian victory in EU budget talks. Texas GOP chairman suggests constitution-abiding states should form a union after SCOTUS tosses election suit. You have 15 seconds to comply. NYPD says new robotic cop dog will save lives as netizens warn of sci-fi dystopia. So they are hitting the streets in New York now. Medical miracle. Trump praises safe and effective Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine as FDA grants emergency use authorization. Again, Friday. We should be getting somewhere near the end of Friday, I would hope. Geesh. San Francisco man arrested for vehicle theft for 14th time in 18 months after Soros-funded DA claims too many people are in jail. Leaks are dangerous and irresponsible. CNN journalist misses sarcasm and agrees all Biden news must be vetted by official sources. We have a sip of tea. Innovate. All right. Let's see. Small children prefer toys to experiences. Study finds, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Assuaging parents lockdown guilt. I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. A deliberate stigmatization. Austria's top court overturns headscarf ban. I'll get it right. In primary schools. Global economy to contract by 5.6% this year due to the pandemic, says the UN. Mike, there are people that are just unbelievable in this world. And there's a lot of them. When they get stressed out, they can't stand if somebody else laughs or has a good time. They can't stand when somebody tells the truth, when it's in disagreement with how they want things to be. That's all it takes. All it takes is to tell the truth. All it takes is to live life, and people will hate you. People will absolutely hate you. And the more honest of a person you are, both in your interactions with other people and with yourself, the more of an honest person that you are, the more people will hate you. I'm a prime example. And I'm good with it. I would rather be alone and know I'm a decent human being than have to listen to their nonsense and bullshit and lies just so that I can belong. There ain't nobody worth me worth that so I can feel like I belong. Nobody. So, yeah, it is what it is. I don't sweat it. Let's see. Supreme Court really let us down. Trump tweets after crucial election lawsuit defeat and promises to fight on. Major Australian firms pay more in political donations than taxes. Bringing water to Wall Street may spark bubble for the world's most vital resources, the UN warns. We're on Saturday's news, by the way. We have been for about 5 headlines. Sorry, I missed it. So, that is an important headline right there. Bringing water to Wall Street may spark bubble for the world's most vital resource, the UN warns. They are trying very hard. They are doing everything they can to make it a commodity. I mean, it already is. It's just not official. Sanctions kill people they're supposed to be protecting and undermine the entire system of human rights and humanitarian aid. I would agree. A gang of violent ultra-left activists charged with forming a terrorist group to wage guerrilla warfare in France, says reports. Australian MP calls on Trump to pardon Assange before leaving the White House. Hillary hates his guts. Biden calls him a high-tech terrorist. Sweden considers adopting e-krona amid rapid growth of cash-free transactions. See the push for that? New Nagorno-Karabakh war crime fears as Azeri soldier boasts to camera about killing Armenian civilian and mutilating the corpse. No U.S.-Iran peace till there is democracy in Tehran, says ex-diplomat McFaul, who's surprised by the negative feedback. A Russian health watchdog says COVID-19 triggers process of natural selection as deaths among elderly and infirm peak. Still on yesterday's news. We might get thrown out of NATO. Twitter baffled and divided over UK government idea to send warships against EU fishermen. A UN chief raises alarm over worst recession in 80 years as COVID-19 pandemic impact grows. Now, I'm telling you, it's coming. And whatever name they put on it, right now it's being referred to as the Great Reset. It is coming. And it is a global thing. And it is the last thing that you want to sign on to. And I don't know how you can refuse. Other than fight. You ready for that? Because that's the reality we're looking at. People can talk all their bullshit, play all their games, say all the I'm gone as they're going to. Doesn't change the fact. What's coming is coming. We're either ready to deal with it or we're not. We're not going to be able to fight them. Only thing we can do is to try to be able to protect ourselves and our loved ones. Try to stay clear until the dust settles. Ain't a war you want to be in. Telling you. Not a war you want to be in. We are not even remotely prepared to fight a war like that. We're not remotely prepared to fight the war we're fighting right now. The war on information, the psychological war. We're obviously not prepared to fight that. Look at how well it succeeded. So how prepared are we to fight that? Those of us that are awake and don't have our heads up our asses find it impossible to wake others. That is how successful that it worked. Not a happy thought. It's what it is. I can't change it. I can only report it. I can only warn about it. I can only try to come up with solutions. I can't stop it. A Nashville nurse killer identified as 21-year-old black man who once tried to shoot his own family when Granny woke him for school. A BBC presenter claims UK gardening culture is so racist that racism is baked into its DNA. That's absurd. Trump rips big disappointment AG William Barr over Hunter Biden probe and says the fight has just begun. Armenian soldier cuts ear off Azerbaijani enemy in shocking clip amid claims Yerevan behind war crimes in Nagorno-Karabakh. Still on yesterday, by the way. A clumsy PR stunt. Russian Foreign Ministry ridicules baseless U.S. sanctions against Chechen sports entities and charity. U.S. says COVID-19 vaccine to start arriving in the states on Monday. Biden eyes New York's Andrew Cuomo as Attorney General, the AP reports. Proud Boys leader sets off liberals with pick of White House and claims he was invited there as Trump administration denies the meeting. What are you going to say? Liars. Over 100 arrested as Paris rally against security bill and Islamophobia descends into chaos. Biden will be removed one way or another. Alex Jones, Michael Flynn speak at pro-Trump march as rival protesters clash. Man, making statements like that, good luck. After reports of fresh fighting, Russian peacekeepers tell Armenia and Azerbaijan to observe truce in Nagorno-Karabakh. Trump won. Breaking news feed of the Telegraph proclaims after embarrassing hack. The beginning of the end. U.S. General declares Pfizer jab rollout D-Day as FDA says very concerned about vaccine hesitancy. Yeah, because I think more than half of the public says not no, but hell no. That's over half. So it's not no, but hell no. And then there's hesitancy beyond that. Those are the people that are solid, firm no. Google Maps removes abandoned Road of Bones route recommendation after Russian driver freezes to death near coldest town on Earth. Yeah, that was sad. A Russian cutting-edge nuclear sub fires barrage of 4 intercontinental ballistic missiles. Olympia police declare a riot as one person shot in clashes between Proud Boys and Antifa in Washington state. Then the stabbing happened in D.C. Multiple arrests, at least one stab amid running battles between Antifa and Proud Boys near BLM Plaza in Washington, D.C. That's what I was telling you about. Oh, and now we're to today's news. A Bank of England warns of possible disruptions to UK's financial system after the Brexit. Oman looks to make the most out of its dwindling oil reserves. iPhone manufacturer promised protection by the government after angry workers trashed the factory in India over a salary dispute. Huh. Run out and buy those iPhones. Man arrested for invading tarmac and climbing on the wing of a packed passenger airliner in Las Vegas. NBC News reports evidence of alleged Hunter Biden corruption and gets flooded with excuses of why it's not newsworthy. Proud Boys torched BLM banner amid violent marred protest day in D.C. I mean, man, I don't get the point. Why is everything got to be a competition? What's the point? Why are we competing with everything? That's stupid. How do we get anywhere? As a nation, as a species. If we're more concerned with trying to compete with one another than what we are with actually trying to prosper. Because if none of us are allowed to prosper, because everybody else is preventing each other from prospering, how do you suppose you're going to prosper? That's how you get to where we are today. By thinking nobody else should have anything because you don't want it. When I say you don't want it, I mean you don't want to earn it. That's not cool. Man, we have become a ridiculous society. British supermarkets warn to stash food on rising fears of no-deal Brexit, says reports. Russia on track to have one of its largest ever grain harvests. That's kind of an important headline to note. If they're doing that well on grain and we ain't, that's another reason for war. I mean, their resources are really top-notch right now. Fossil fuels, now grain exports, which have always been pretty strong, but their best year. Non-essential services shut, no drinking in public, and no fireworks. Germany rolls out tougher COVID-19 rules. Brexit talks without end, negotiators to go the extra mile as deadline shifts. Ireland tops list of world's most generous nations as year of living with COVID-19 boosts donations. Hundreds of endangered seals mysteriously found dead on the shores of Russia's Caspian Sea, and nobody knows why. 10 years in jail for stealing sweets. Thanks to COVID-19, it's a possibility in Slovakia, and people are puzzled. COVID-19 vaccine shipments begin in historic U.S. effort. More questions than relief. Brazil vaccination plan promises jab to less than quarter of the population. No timetable set. What lies behind AstraZeneca's plan to team up with Russia's highly criticized Sputnik 5? Ortiz boom bust gropes for an answer. Trump claims China is biggest winner of U.S. defense bill and vows to veto the document. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo sexually harassed me for years, a former staffer claims after blasting the toxic work environment. It's not over. Trump declares one day before Electoral College votes, claims U.S. looks like third world country. Russia successfully tests hypersonic Zircon missile flying 8 times the speed of sound to hit ground-based target. So just if you're keeping tabs, that's now 4 missiles that I've talked to you about that Russia has test fired. Just since we've been gone the last 3 days. So we fired off 3. I think it was 3 from that sub, and then this one. Man, I'm telling you. America's FDA chief defends prolonged approval process for COVID-19 vaccine after Trump calls the agency big old slow turtles. I think I said that headline. Huh. Wait a minute. I did. I don't know how they got repeated. Okay, this one hadn't been. Fighting returns Nagorno-Karabakh as Azerbaijan claims some Armenian troops broke the terms of armistice by remaining in the region. A California judge orders release of prisoners from jails to prevent COVID-19 spread. Inhumane treatment. Turkey accuses Greece of migrant pushbacks into Turkish waters. Overwhelming majority of Trump supporters do not consider Biden legitimate, but most voters say election is over and settled, says a poll. CDC director approves Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine to be given to U.S. citizens. Report reveals Democratic National Committee's intervention to blame for chaos at the 2020 Iowa caucuses. Shooter opens fire outside St. John the Divine Church in Manhattan during a choir performance, says reports. Venezuela's Guaido-led opposition holds alternative vote and then burns ballots after boycotting legislative elections. A U.S. Treasury and Telecom Policy Agency hacked internal emails monitored for months, an embarrassing breach pinned on the usual suspects. That would be Russia. Hey, Russia let me have the website back. You see that? So anyway, if you want to find that Scriptures Bible, just go to the watchmannews.com, go to resources, and right now it's there. You click on Scriptures Audio Bible, and that's where it is. Hey, the website loaded once, that's it. It's not going to give me another page. How do you like that? How do you like that? So when the website's not crapping out like it is this evening, you'll be able to load that, and currently it'll bring this up, and you'll be able to listen to the Scriptures Bible. And here soon, when I get the structure all set up right, I'm going to have a little link at the top where you can download the entire Scriptures Audio Bible, the Scriptures Audio Bible. You can download the whole thing and throw it on your mobile device or whatever you want to do with it. Nice and easy for you to get. So, it was awesome that was brought to our attention today, and just awesome. It's great. So, anyway, I am gonna wrap things up. I am gonna start working on that scenery again, because I would like to at least get this one little project done before the end of the night. So I am going to get out of here. I hope everybody has a good evening. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow. Hope to see you then. As always, God bless you. We love you, and be one with your spirit.